Hi everyone, welcome. This is Dina. It is the 24th of November and I am here to just show you a little bit of stitching today. I've spent most of my day packing, getting ready for a trip. I had to pack my suitcase with my clothes and then I had to pack my cross stitch, and I discovered that my suitcase with my clothes wasn't going to carry everything. We're going from a cold climate to a warm climate, so you have to take some heavy sweaters and things to wear because we're going to be in a colder climate for the majority of our time. But we will get into a very warm climate on our way home. And so I was struggling with trying to get enough warm clothes in the suitcase with a few things to wear when we're in the warmer temperatures where I need cooler clothes. So anyway, my husband is very kind, and when he got home tonight and saw how hard I was struggling to fit everything in, and in fact I had fit everything in, but my suitcases were bulging. I mean, I had to expand them to the biggest size, you know, when they've got the little part that you can expand. And the biggest worry is that one of the suitcases weighed 49.7 or so pounds. So if the scales are the least bit off different at the airport, I could have a bag that weighs too much. So we made the decision, after looking at everything we needed to take for both of us, that we're going to just take an extra suitcase. So it'll take 3 suitcases this time instead of 2. But that's okay. I'd much rather have something and not need it than to need something and not have it. But that took up a good portion of the day, not to mention the fact that I've been cooking this week a lot, trying to use up all the food I have so that nothing goes to waste. And so I did some cooking today as well for a couple of meals. And I had to walk Coco and take care of her today. So biggest chunk of my time though was editing a video. So I put together a video that I have scheduled to come up while we are gone. And that way maybe it won't seem quite so long in between videos, since I just put up a video. So I hope you like it. It'll be up before you see this, obviously. Then I finally got busy and stitched my bingo call for today. My bingo call today was to start my November wordplay. So this is what November wordplay looks like. And I got a little bit of a start on it. A little bit. I think that's a good start. I got it from the top all the way to the bottom on that one little corner there. So that's good. I did decide today, though, that I think if I don't change my mind, I may stitch the word cranberry in a cranberry color just to give it a little more color on here. And I might stitch pumpkin pie in an oranger color than what's here. So we shall see, but it needs a little color for me. So I'll be working on that. Anyway, I got a good start on it. I don't think I'll be taking this one with me because I actually have so much packed to take with me that it's bulging. I have it in a what would be a shoulder bag, a purse. I used to take all my travel stitching in that purse, and now that I've made my colossal bag, I asked my husband today, do you think I could get away with calling this my pocketbook? It's huge. He said, well, I think the key is, can it fit under the chair in front of you? I said, no, it wouldn't. He laughed. He said, I don't think you can carry it as your purse. He said, they'll probably count that as a carry-on bag. I said, okay. So I didn't try to do it. But anyway, I have plenty to stitch. So I'm going to leave this here. I'll work on it again when I get back. maybe not till December, but that's okay because I won't be back till December. So tonight I had a planning call with my friends Lori, Once Upon a Stitch is her YouTube channel, and our friend Dee Abrams and my friend Donna. And we compared our acrostics that we had. We had the monthly magazine challenge acrostic, and we looked at that, compared notes on what we're going to be stitching for that next month. And then we spent a bit of time talking about the Great British Baking Championship game that JC Marie started this year. We've decided to do it in the month of February. We're going to go back to an old episode that we haven't seen for a very long time and hope that we don't remember who the winner is. But we're going to assign a number to each of our whips, our 12 whips, before we go back and review the show, so that we'll just put those in an order. Doesn't matter what order they're in, and then as people are named in the show, we will put them next to the whip in order that they're identified, that as soon as we have their name. So we're planning on doing that just for fun, just to see how we like it. Try it out. Jason Murray seemed to have fun with it, so we're going to see how we like it as well. But that's not till February. We are all going to participate in Bringo for January, which is the Monthly Magazine Challenges game that we play in January, and they will be releasing, I think, December 1st, the prompts that you are to identify your whips for. And then you make up your own bingo board in whatever order you want to put your numbers on. And then every night, Carolyn Zook from Z-Zook Stitch, who is one of the administrators of the Monthly Magazine Challenge group, she'll call a number and publish it in the Facebook group as to what the Bringo number is. And then we know what we stitch for the next day. And so it's a lot of fun. And it's just another way of helping you to move your projects forward, to put stitches in them. So I'm laying out a bingo for the month of December with my local group, because there's no way I can do that and travel. I can't take everything with me that could be called. And the only other way I could do it was to just use the things I'm taking with me and fill up every single, place with that. And that's just not really what I wanted to do. So I'm just going to lay out this one month. But in January, it will be an interesting bingo board. It'll have to say whatever the Bringo call is. So my group is really good about letting me do that. But that's how it'll have to transpire. So I think that is me catching you up for the day. We actually take Coco to Fred's tomorrow. That's how close our trip is. Oh, wow, it's real now. She's been watching us pack. She knows something's up. She's been very clingy and staying really close, especially to her daddy. And but she will be so excited tomorrow when she gets to go. So I have no worry about that. I know she'll have a good time. Well, I'm going to say goodnight. I will try to video tomorrow if I can. My call on my bingo is the last call, so it doesn't matter. I don't even have to look. I know it's the last number, and it's Let Love Rain. And so I do want to put some stitches in that tomorrow. I have to put 100 stitches in it at least, and get that done. And then I can wrap up the bingo game before I get into my travels the next day, which is great. I'm happy about that. Okay, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to say I hope you have a great rest of your month stitching. I know that you will not hear from me for a couple of weeks after the video I just scheduled to go up. So it will have been a little while by the time you see this one. But can't help that. I don't have access to put a video up while I'm gone. So I will see you when we get back. And hopefully I can do a little quick little piece tomorrow about my stitching and then say a proper goodbye for a short while until I get home. Anyway, enjoy your stitching. Good night. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. I am here to tell you a little bit about my stitching and to say bon voyage. Today is Monday. It is the 25th of November, and we leave tomorrow for our trip. So today we took Coco to see Fred, and she whined and went and carried on and whimpered and barked and got all excited like she normally does. My husband actually recorded the sound for me, not a video this time, but just the sound, just so I could see that she was extremely excited about seeing Fred again. In fact, I'm wearing Coco today. This is a picture of her. My son gifted me that one Christmas as a sweet thing. Anyway, I felt bad when she left here. I know she's going to be gone for such a long time from us, but she's going to have a ball. But Mama is just sad, you know, because she's leaving. But I've already gotten pictures of her. And she's playing and having a good time. So, we are leaving tomorrow. Packing has been going on today and repacking. We have been final errands to pick up a few things. My husband's reading glasses came in, and so we went to Costco to get those today. Anyway, I think we have done all the taskings that we could do before we leave, just until tomorrow. So tonight, I was late getting into Stitching with Friends, but I did make it, so I'll tell you about that as well. So this morning, before we got out and about doing too much of an errand, my husband went for a haircut, and then I took Coco for a walk. When I got back from walking Coco, I decided I would hit my final call for bingo this month and get my blackout on my bingo board. And so my final call was Let Love Reign, and I actually wound up putting over 300 stitches in this. I can't remember the exact number, and I've already packed up my little book where I jot down all my figures, and so I can't look it up. But anyway, I'll show you what I did. I came in here and stitched in the door. The door was the only thing remaining to be stitched on the house. And then I did the heart. And then I came over here and I started the big motif that's in the center. And then there'll be a heart and a house. And this will be replicated over here. So I'm in the middle of that row now, and I've gotten started on it. So that was lovely, and I was really happy about that. Put that back on my stand. So my husband and I got in from Costco and dinner this evening, and I came flying up here to see if I could join in on the Zoom call with my stitching buddies for just a little bit, and I did. And so we were talking and visiting, and then I looked around and thought, I've packed up all my cross stitch. All of my small pieces that are on Q-snaps, I had packed up. They're all downstairs in the suitcase. So I thought, what am I going to stitch on? I didn't want to put more stitches in to Let Love Reign. I was a little tired of that, a little weary. And I thought, oh my goodness, I don't want to go get something off of my roll frames over there, because most of them are things I have to concentrate on. I really like working on the smalls when I'm on a Zoom call. So I looked down, and I had a little envelope project bag over here that I had put, I had it out because I was trying to decide which one of these had been gifted to me by whom. It was one of my exchange pieces with my Lake House Stitchers the first time we did the exchange, and we didn't think about needing to write down which project was in each gifted bag because we thought originally that we'd remember when we saw it. I didn't. I could not, for the life of me, find which pattern it was. And I checked with my friend Donna, and she didn't remember either. Then I checked with one of the other lake house stitchers, and thank goodness she had made a list, and so she was able to send it to me, and then I was able to help Donna figure out which ones were hers too. So Donna cautioned me. She said, don't start that, because if you're not ready to finish it, because I know you'll get something that small, you'll get started on it, and it's so close to a finish, you'll keep stitching. Anyway, this one is special because it's in a magazine. It is in the 2023 Christmas magazine. And in anticipation of Bringo in January, every year so far, they've always included stitch on something out of a magazine. And I got to thinking about that recently, which is why I pulled out all these gifts that I had been kitted, because they're all out of this magazine, right? And so I had picked which one I wanted to do in case Bringo has that. We'll know December 1st. But I had it over here. I was holding that to use for that prompt if I needed it. So it was sitting right here, right next to my desk. So tonight, while I was sitting and talking with everybody, I needed something to stitch on. So I pulled it out and I started it. I haven't finished it, Donna. Don't worry. I'm not going to stitch on it. I'm not taking it with me. This is it. It's called Joy. And it actually has little words that you may have a hard time seeing, but it says the joy is in the giving. And I really like that sentiment. I can see why Kristen picked it. It's beautiful. And she kitted it with called for fabric and floss. And the called for fabric is 14 count Aida, which is great. And so I got started on it tonight. I got the word done. The joy. I got it completely finished. So that's what I stitched on my Zoom call tonight. And that's what's going back in the bag, so that if there's a need for a magazine or something out of a magazine, I'll have this one ready. And if for any reason I can't make myself not finish it before then, since that's not till January, and if I'm not so crazy busy catching up in December after our trip, that I wound up finishing it, I'll just go to the next one of the gifted, kitted ornaments out of the magazine, and I'll have it ready. But this one, I'm putting over to the side in anticipation that I might need it pretty soon. So it just gave me something to stitch on, and now I have a good start on it, but there's plenty of stitches left to do on it, so we'll be fine. But then I decided I needed to stop stitching and go help my husband finish packing and get ready to go. So we leave tomorrow, and by the time you see this, I'll be back. But I do try to record every day if I can and let you know what's been going on in my life that day and what I've been stitching that day. So there you go. Well, good night, everybody. A couple of days away from Thanksgiving. So I know by the time you see this, that will be over as well. But I just hope that you will be enjoying your holiday season, and especially that you'll be stitching as much as you can. Happy stitching, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It is the 26th of November, and I will be leaving here probably within the hour to go to the Atlanta airport with my husband. We are heading off for our Christmas present to one another. My birthday, our Christmas, everything all in one. We're going on a wonderful cruise and can't wait. Just can't wait to get there and get started. So this morning we've had a lot going on. We finished packing all the last minute things. We did our checklist, and now we've eaten leftovers out of the fridge until I didn't have any more meals that we can eat here. And so now we've put all the trash away, and my husband's taking it to the dump so that we don't have anything, you know, left in the trash can, even outside while we're gone. We've gotten pictures of Coco this morning. She's playing, she's having a great time, so that helped me a lot. And I decided this morning to help pass my time that I would come up here and stitch. And I decided to take one of my projects that I have put on my wish list to finish next year and just tackle one of the tough parts of it. So I'm talking about Nativity. This is a beautiful Teresa Wentzler piece. And I had mentioned before that when I wasn't going to be counting stitches for a prompt, that is when I like to do things like back stitching, because you have to do 2 of those for 1 stitch and it takes twice as long. So today I tackled back stitching, and I finished back stitching both wings. Can you tell? You can really see them now. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So there's a lighter color on the outer edges of the wings, and then there's a little, just slightly darker color on the inside of the wings. And there was an error in the pattern. On the picture, you can see that there is a back stitch line for these long feathers here. On the pattern, it shows them over here, but it doesn't show any back stitching for this whole section here. So I improvised, and I put my back stitching in as to what I felt like was the right spot based on how the other feathers looked. And I think they're beautiful. I think they really show now. They just pop off of there. That's the big difference of the back stitching. If I can find a picture of them that show them really well without the back stitching, I'll try to put it in so you can compare them. But that was fabulous. And it took me all morning to do that. My whole stitching session was the back stitching. I have yet to count it. It's going to be hard to count, and I'm not sure if I'm even going to bother with it. I just don't know. But I think it's beautiful, and I'm tickled to death to have that part done. So I think the next thing that would be really good for me to do would be to go ahead when the next time I'm able to work on it that it's not for a prompt, to come back up here and start back stitching any clothing, cloaks, whatever that are fully finished, you know, that I can go ahead and do. And then roll it up a little bit because I have finished the stitching part up with just the regular floss to right here on both sides. So if I could get the back stitching complete to about right there as well, I could roll it on up to around here, and I could still have room to finish it, but I could get the bottom of it easily on my frame. So I am tickled, really tickled to have that back stitching done, and I think it's a beautiful piece, and I'm excited about it now, working on it more and trying to get it finished. I have it in my acrostics for December, so hopefully I will pull it out again and get some more work on it, and make sure that it's in a really good position for me to get a finish on that next year. So that's that. Well, I packed my cross stitch, and I repacked my cross stitch, and I've packed it again. I originally put it in my carry-on bag, and I had to put extra stuff in there because my suitcase was too heavy, and that crowded everything. And so I packed my pink tote, my original pink tote that my sister Stephanie gave me, that I take on my cruises to carry all my cross-stitch stuff around the ship. Originally I had it packed solid full, just so full I could hardly close it. Then my husband decided we would take an extra piece of luggage, and I'm so glad he did. Oh, I'm so happy that he decided we would pay for one, because we have all our cruising documents. We have all of our battery packs. We have, shoes, because we're going to do some excursions. He's going to run, and these are special shoes that, you need that aren't everyday type things. And we just had the problem of having to pack for a cold climate and then ending in a hot climate. And you have to take 2 seasons worth of clothes. No matter how you stack them and layer them, you still have to have enough for 2 seasons of clothes. And it was just hard on both of us. And so that extra suitcase was really necessary. And I'm really, really grateful that he did that. So when he did that, I could take all the clothes back out of my carry-on bag and put them into the new suitcase. And that gave me a whole lot more room for cross stitch. And so I was able to put everything back in my carry-on except one project. And that project is what I'm going to carry with me in my little pink bag. And I'm going to put my purse down in that bag and let that be my pocketbook. And I'm going to carry that because we're going to get to the airport early today. And I'm going to have stitching time sitting in the airport waiting to board the plane. We want to get there early. We want to get through security. And then we're going to go to dinner. And then we'll sit at the, probably 2 hours before we board the plane, or at least an hour and a half, because you have to be there 2 hours early. So I would have some stitching time. So I put everything in my little pink bag. And so it's back out of that carry-on. Anyway, it's good. I'm ready to go. And being able to come up here today and stitch kept me calm. I wasn't anxious about anything, which was great. And I think everything is ready to go. All we have to do now, we'll cut the water off at the outside so that we don't have any problems with any water pipes bursting or any flooding or anything while we're gone. My husband always turns off the power, and so we'll do that right before we drive away, and we'll be all set. So I am thrilled to be traveling. I've never been to any of the places we're going, and so bear with me as I just wax on about it and tell you how excited I am about it as I go. But mostly, I'm excited about having all this time to stitch. I won't be having to stop and walk my puppy, and I won't be playing with her. And even though I'll miss that very much, it's just time that I will have. And my husband is so cute. He asked me yesterday when I was moving that bag around, he goes, "Have you got your Q-snaps?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Do you have scissors?" I said, "Yes, 2 pair." Then he said, "What would it be if you left it at home? What would be the one thing if you left it at home that it would just ruin your stitching experience?" And I said, "A needle threader." He said, "Do you have one?" I said, "No, I have 4. In case I lose one or break one or whatever." He laughed so hard. But what tickled me is that how much he knew about the fact that I needed a Q-snap, because I don't like stitching in hand. It hurts my hands. He knew that I needed my scissors. He wasn't sure what else, but he knew I needed a Q-snap, and he knew I needed scissors. And I thought that was just precious. So Donna tells me all the time he's a keeper, and I agree with her. I think he is. All right, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to clean up and tidy up my stitching room before I leave so that it's ready for me when I come home. And I will talk to you next while I'm traveling. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. My name is Dina, and this is my channel about cross stitch. And today is the 28th of November, and I am on a cruise ship. I'm on the Sky Princess. So since I talked with you last, my husband and I drove to just north of Atlanta and parked in a MARTA station, got on the MARTA train, rode into the airport, boarded a plane for London, England, flew to London overnight, got to London yesterday about 10:30 in the morning, and then we took an Uber ride for about an hour and a half to get to our hotel We stayed at a Holiday Inn Express in Southampton, about 4 miles from the pier. And this morning we Ubered right over as soon as we had breakfast and checked out of the hotel. We came through the security just fine. We did all the onboarding experiences, went and did all the stuff. You know, you have to watch a safety video, and then you have to do your muster station check-in and all of that, which we did. In the time that we were at the hotel, we met 2 couples that were coming on board. Well, 3. My husband met another couple that I wasn't with him when he met, that are going to be on our same cruise. And today, as we were walking away from the muster station, we cut through one of the lounges to get to the dining area to go have lunch, and saw a lady crocheting. And I went and introduced myself and asked if she would be meeting up with the knitters and natters, and she said yes. So I know that I'm going to see her there on our sea days, which will be great. So in the evening yesterday and the morning today, I chose to work on my sister's gift for next year. So sis, turn away, look away for a moment. Let me share with everyone else what I've been working on. I brought this with me to try to get a good progress on it, and I'm real tickled with what I was able to do yesterday. And this is where it's at now. I decided to go ahead, sorry for dropping that. I decided to go ahead and work all the way across this side, and then I think I'm going to do the top portion with the words, and then I'll come back over here and do the bottom of that side. But that's where it's at. Loving the colors, love the subject matter, of course. And today and yesterday, all total, I put in 496 stitches between the 2 days. So not a whole lot, but not terrible anyway. And so I'm putting it away today now that I've worked on it. And I think that if I do any more stitching today, I'm going to pick a different project. Okay, sis, you can look back now. And I'm thinking that I may work on my All You Need Is Love. I don't know how much more stitching I'll get done today because we do have dinner at 5:30, and then we have a show, which tonight I think is a comedian. And that usually doesn't get through until late. And then we'll come back here, and having to adjust to a new time zone, it's been interesting. We slept or tried to sleep a little on the flight over, could sleep a little, but not a lot. And then, of course, we were so exhausted, we went to bed about 8 o'clock last night, our time here, that it was probably, it would have been 5 hours later where we were. So it was very late in the night. I woke up at midnight, thought I was wide awake, but I did go back to sleep. And I woke up again about 4, and I went back to sleep. So I did get up about 8 o'clock this morning, England's time. And that's good. So I think my body is just about adjusting. I can feel a little fatigued today. And so I'm hoping that by the time I sleep tonight, I'll be okay. And I'm going to bed early tonight because tomorrow we have an excursion, and we have to meet our excursion on the ship. We have to gather together at 7:30 in the morning. So to get breakfast, we have to go at 6 to get breakfast. So that's what we'll be doing. But that means I have to get up, around 5 o'clock and get my shower and get dressed and ready to go in order to be ready to eat by 6. So it'll be an early day tomorrow, but a fun one. I'm so looking forward to it. I appreciate you letting me share my stitching on this cruise with you and my activities that we'll be doing on the cruise. And I'm hoping that you will live vicariously through me if you're not able to go right now, and just enjoy the holidays with us. Today is Thanksgiving Day, so for any of you who are American or who are in the States and celebrate, happy Thanksgiving. We were able to say happy Thanksgiving to some of our friends over the phone, and our son, because we did pay for a little extra long distance coverage for 3 days so that we could get on the boat, on the cruise, and be on our way before we completely went off the grid. So, looking forward to dinner tonight. They are serving a traditional Thanksgiving meal, a turkey dinner tonight. So they are honoring that it's Thanksgiving, and I'm excited about that. We've checked the menu already just to kind of see what they might have. So that's about all the news from here. The trip was smooth as silk. It's been sunny and beautiful in England yesterday and today, so boy, were we lucky. We actually got to see the countryside as we were driving in. We got to see some of the town as we were coming over here to the pier. We would love to come back and tour more of Europe than we're going to get to see on the cruise. We'll have to save up for that in another couple of years. So anyway, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And if not, thanks for coming and watching again and sharing my trip with me. And I hope that I'll have a lot of fun things to tell you about and share with you, and even some stitching to share. You know me, I love to stitch while I'm cruising. So I hope to have a lot to share with you. In the meantime, until I can film again, happy stitching, everybody. Hi everyone, welcome. This is Dina. It is the 29th of November. We are getting kind of toward the end of the month here. I had a beautiful day today. My husband and I were able to take an excursion, and we toured 2 museums. One about the air troopers that came over during D-Day activities, and their sacrifices that they made, the battles that they fought hard and won, and those that they lost, and how it impacted everything. The second was a museum that actually is a German, a German-occupied stronghold that was overrun and overpowered and overtaken by the U.S. troops, and how that all transpired. And we actually got to do a walking tour, and most of that location is underground, where it was built that way. And that's how the soldiers lived, underground. It was amazing. Just hard to believe. My dad fought in World War II. He was not in Normandy, but he was in the Pacific, the South Pacific. And yet he was in that conflict. So it meant a lot to me to get to see something up close and personal that I never dreamed I'd get to see. And then the other thing that we did is we went to one of the beaches. We went to Utah Beach, and today there were 2 beaches that the Americans landed on, Utah Beach and Omaha Beach. And we heard stories about both, but we actually got to go to Utah Beach. We got to see some of the monuments and things that they have there now. It's part of a museum, and we got to walk on the beach. It was lovely. It was cold, but it was sunny, no rain, so it was a beautiful day. We were on a bus tour because it was a very long tour, too far away to walk, but we went from place to place, and then we walked all through the museums and all through the exhibits and things of that nature. My only negative about the whole trip is I just didn't have enough time. It was a half a day. We left at 7:30 in the morning. We didn't get back to 1:30 in the afternoon. We didn't stop to eat. But even so, trying to get through all that beautiful history, it was hard to pull yourself away. My husband had to set a timer on his watch, and we had to keep ourselves paced so we could see everything, even a little bit. But it just shows you that if you really want to see it, you need to come and take a tour, like an individual tour or something. But it was beautiful. And then, of course, we had our dinner. Well, we went and had pizza at the after our excursion. There's a little restaurant on board that you can get a pizza as part of your food plan. And so we had a slice of pizza or 2. And enjoyed that just to hold us over till dinner. And tonight we ate in the dining room, and we had the most beautiful fish. Really enjoyed it, and just had a lovely, lovely dinner. Our waiter was at the door waiting on us. We met him last night, and last night we were his only two-seater, I think, and he had big tables. And last night it was kind of confusing. It was the first night, and we were seated very quickly, but we didn't get waited on very quickly. But we could tell he was just running all around trying to help seat everybody. He had told us up front that they were all being asked to come up front and take people to their tables. And it might be a little bit slow service that first night. He warned us about that. So we gave it another night to make sure it was going to be okay. Well, he wanted to make sure we had a good experience. He met us at the door, walked us straight to the table, took our order very quickly, and he was just right on top of it. He and his assistant were fabulous, and couldn't have asked for a better waiter. So I think we're going to really enjoy our dining experience. So that's exciting. So this afternoon, I will tell you, I'm having a hard time adjusting to the time here. So I was falling asleep on the bus on the way back to the ship and hating it because I wanted to see all of the countryside. It was just beautiful. And so lovely to be able to see the culture through the buildings and the yards and the way that everything was set up, the farms, the cows. They had so many cows, and they had long hair. They were not like a Highland cow, but our cows in Georgia have very short hair. But these cows had long, thick hair, you know, I guess because of the cold. But anyway, that was interesting to see. So when I got home today after our lunch, I told my husband I couldn't keep my eyes open. I set the clock for an hour and I took a nap. I just went to sleep. I couldn't help myself. I think he told me later that I was asleep before he ever left the door. He was going to go get him a cup of coffee. He did not want to go to sleep, and he took off. But I couldn't fight it anymore, and so I fell asleep. But I set the alarm for an hour, and I got up and got ready for our dinner, and we went out and listened to some music and then went to dinner. So I didn't get to stitch a whole lot until I got back after dinner, but I have stitched, and it's late now and I'm going to go to bed. But I wanted to share with you what I stitched. So this is All You Need Is Love, and I pulled it out to get some work on it, and I did get some work on it. In fact, let me look over here on my little notes that I took yesterday and today. Okay. 469 stitches I put in this because I wanted to finish that motif of that crate with the hearts coming out of it. The little heart looks like heart balloons. So I think that's fabulous. I finished it. So now the next time if I get to work on it again while we're here, I will start working on this little girl right here. I'll march over this little border here, and that'll give me a placement for her feet and her dress, of course, and I'll make sure all that fits appropriately. Make sure I've not miscounted anything, and I'll have her next. She's a big girl. She's got a big dress, rather. So there's a lot of stitching in that, but I am so loving this piece. It is precious, absolutely precious. This is a Couire Battacouire pattern, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. So I did want to show you my progress on that. Happy for that. So now I'm going to call it a night, and tomorrow I have it marked on my little calendar over here to go join the Natters and Knitters. I missed 2 sessions for them today because of my excursion, and then because I was here right after lunch. We had just gotten back to the room, and I was trying to decide what to do, and my husband said, you know, the Knitters and Natters are meeting this afternoon. When I looked, I had just missed them. They were over at 2:45, and it was 2:50 when I checked. I have seen several ladies either crocheting or knitting on the boat. Some of them are crocheting, some are knitting. And I've stopped and asked them all, are you going to the Knitters and Natters? And every one of them have said on sea days they expect to be there. So tomorrow's a sea day. I hope to get to meet a lot of ladies. So I'll let you know. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you've had a lovely, lovely Friday. And I'll jump back on here and talk to you some more when I have something to share with you. Thanks again for letting me share my travels with you and my stitching as I go. Happy stitching, everybody.